this is a flats boat, and this is my real boat. Did you notice that little stool up front? Well, that's actually called a casting platform. All it helps you do is when you're sight fishing on like some flats or really crystal clear water, or just in general, you just want to be boosted up a little bit, it just helps with that. Now, for the surprising part, that can cost anywhere from $200 all the way up to $500, which is absolutely mind-bending if you're like me and you passed basic algebra in middle school. So I thought might as well just try and build my own for a fraction of the cost and see where it goes. Might turn out ugly, might turn out good. Might quit the project, might continue with the project. I don't know, you'll have to stick tuned and you'll have to stay tuned till the end of the video to find out. Let's get started. Okay, so let's go over the materials real quick and then let's get to building this thing. So first up we have this, which was, I believe this was like $8 or $10, and obviously it's the perfect size for me personally, because obviously I'm a small person, so holds my feet, so that's off to a good start. Second up, we had a bigger thing of PVC laying around, and I cut that to length. I think these are about 12 inches. I got 4 of these, or I cut 4 of these, so these will be the legs of the casting platform, or yeah, casting platform. And then to cover the entire thing, just because this is only wood, and wood, rain, blah, 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 not really gonna mix all that well. So I went out and got this cheap fiberglass. It's Bondo fiberglass repair kit. And I'm just thinking of wrapping this entire thing in this, and then fiberglassing this entire thing, or fiberglassing. This isn't true fiberglass, I don't think. So we'll see how that goes. These little screws, which I've just already had in my toolbox, this will go like this, and then we will attach our turnbuckle, which I've never used one of these, and they're kind of cool. It's really simple stuff, but it's really cool to me. So it just goes like this. So the entire thing will just be like this, and then there'll be legs down here. This will be like this, and then I have to attach one of these into the casting deck on the platform. So then that can stay like this, and then this will hook like that, and then the casting platform will be up here. Let's get started. So we are going to take our bit here, which I have no idea what these are called. I'm hoping that it works. And then what I want to do is screw in, but not go all the way through. I want to go like maybe like halfway through. So hopefully this works, and yeah. No one said I was a professional. Okay, so I don't think that was the correct tool for the job. However, I did get it to work. It was not pretty, probably not the way you're supposed to do that at all, but the results are what I wanted. So it's just these holes, obviously these 4 holes that you can see right here, and they go about halfway through the wood. I did kind of poke through a little bit, but not that big of a deal, not damaged or anything, so it's pretty good so far. Now what we're gonna do is just go, and we're going to actually add some layer to this, just because when you put one of these in here, there is a little bit of space, and my idea is put the electric tape around there. Electric tape's waterproof, so should work, fingers crossed. So now it's fiberglass time, and I absolutely hate fiberglass. Okay, there we go. So you have your hardener. It's this tiny little thing. I have a bunch of this left over from when I painted my boat. And you just put that on like there. Do that, and then you take your fiberglass, the resin, and you pour some in there. I absolutely hate this crap. The most important part is actually to get your fiberglass out in the first place, and then actually start this whole process. Okay. Okay, so I moved it inside of the garage because I stupidly forgot how long fiberglass takes to cure, set, and actually just be done. So I stupidly thought that this project was going to take me like, you know, an hour or so, but you know, that's how long it takes for fiberglass to cure. So yeah, that's not going to happen, Keegan. But what we're going to do is just do the first layer up here, wait, and then just check on it throughout the day. And then do the second layer, which hopefully will be the other side, and kind of go from there. We there we go. We covered everything with the fiberglass and the resin. Probably give this about an hour. It should be dried up by then. And then what we'll do is flip it over and then do obviously the other side, and then we have to do the edges. I think the edges are going to be the hard part, but I think we'll manage. If anything, I don't know. The edges might be the hard part, but other than that, we're going to wait, and then we can do basically everything else. And then with the legs, I think I'm just going to paint the fiber, or paint the PVC pipe with the other paint that I used in my last video, if you guys saw that. This Rust-Oleum, which I used in my last video to paint the trailer, which is still standing up pretty nicely. But I think I'm just going to paint the PVC legs with this. I think it should last. I think it should look good, and it won't look like that cheap plastic. So I'll see you guys in an hour. Okay, so it has been, I think it's been around like 30 to 40 minutes. And then I actually looked up on Google if heat is a good thing for fiberglass to dry. And it's kind of 50-50, so it did dry rather fastly, in my opinion. Oh, and I screwed myself already. I kind of screwed myself already off the bat. So the holes that I made, I accidentally filled those unknowingly, knowing that. But what I'll do is just take a razor blade and just cut those out and go from there. But what we need to do now is just basically flip it like this and then do this entire section. So let's get to doing that. We cut our pipe here, our tubing. We just slit one side. So on one side, it just has an opening like this. So I'm gonna roll this on the edges. And then what I think I'm gonna do is take some of the other fiberglass and then fiberglass this to the actual thing just on the top. I think that makes sense. It makes sense up here, and I guess that's all that matters. It fits, however, I think I can do better, and I think I have literally just enough tube to try and make it better. I just need to try and cut this a lot more straight. And I think it'll come out a lot nicer, so. That looks so clean. That looks clean. But look at it. So the first one had a lot of imperfections, and I didn't cut the tubing straight, so it was kind of bumpy everywhere. But this one came out really good. Yeah, came out really good. So stupidly, what we're gonna do is actually take this off, put the fiberglass other layer on top of this, fiberglass this down, and then kind of go from there. But yeah, I think this looks really freaking good. The only thing I'm a little worried about is how I'm gonna connect it right here, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Maybe just use like some glue or something, but I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. But yep, let's just go fiberglass this real quick. And then once this is done fiberglassed, come back out, we'll put this guy back on. And then honestly, it's kind of the easy part. Knock on wood. We just have to flip it upside down, put the legs on, and then go from there. And yeah, hopefully we can test this out tomorrow morning. Okay, so the second thing, or the second coat, actually cured a lot faster than I thought. I guess fiberglass cures a lot faster than I thought, or yeah, I think I said that right. Because I thought this was going to take a little bit longer to cure, but it's actually already cured. So what we're going to do is cut this excess crap off, and then we're going to put this on the boundary, and then we are going to look at it in awe, and yeah. I'm laughing because it looks so freaking good. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna look this good and put together, so I'm kind of in awe. Huh? Well, that's pretty snazzy. Wow. So there it is right there. It looks pretty freaking good in my opinion. So we just did fiberglass, and then took that pipe and then just wrapped it around, and it looks really good in my opinion. So how I'm gonna do this now, or how I think I'm gonna get this to stay to the actual structure in and of itself is I'm going to take the extra fiberglass, and I'm just going to kind of do it on the lip here, and then hopefully that just kind of seals this like lip, this stuff like right here to this just with the fiberglass alone. I'm not going to worry about it on the bottom. Not that big of a deal. I think if it's on the top, it'll be fine, but I'm going to try and do that on the top here, and then probably finish everything else up. And then I was either thinking about putting, it's going to sound funny, a piece of turf on top of this, just because it's turf, pretty cheap, easy to find, and or a like just go grab like a carpet or something from Walmart, cut that out, something cheap, and then make it like so it's like a nice, like, you know, it's something nice to stand on. Obviously you don't want to stand on this because it's just fiberglass and it's hard and not comfy, but I'm gonna go fiberglass this to the actual thing, and hopefully that goes out. This has been going really smoothly so far, but yeah, looks pretty freaking cool so far. Okay, so it is day 2. Let me grab this actually. So it is day 2. Thought I was gonna finish this last night and test it out this morning, but decided to take my time, which is very rare for me, by the way. What we're gonna do now is take our legs and put the electro tape around the top right here, and then get these to fit snugly in here. Get those lined up as straight as they can. That's wet fiberglass. Get those lined up as straight as they can be, and then we are going to take our leftover fiberglass and resin and put that around the legs so then they can form to the actual base and be strong, and then my light ass can stand on this and catch some fish. Okay, that needs a little bit more. This is going to be its like configuration. I'm thinking that this is going to be the back and that's going to be the front. It's kind of like at an angle. I don't really mind it all that much though. It's not crazily bad or anything, but I think that's going to be how it's going to look for the time being. The legs, I want to spray paint those black with the Rust-Oleum paint, and obviously the top I want to lay something over that, but I'm trying to think how I want to fiberglass the bottom. Let's try and do this. We'll just stay just like that. Oh, perfect. This is what it looks like right now. It honestly looks like crap, I will be honest with you. But what we're gonna do is just let this sit for probably like the rest of the day. Wait for that to cure, and then obviously after this gets done, then I have to do the whole like standing and sitting on it test. And then we kind of just have to go from there, I guess, and see if we need to add more fiberglass on there or not. But other than that, I think it should come out pretty good. And then, like I said, we still need to go to Walmart, get the like rug or mat or whatever you want to call it, cut that into a circle, overlay that on top, and it's pretty much finished. Then just spray paint the entire bottom with that Rust-Oleum black spray paint that I really like. But I think it should be good. I think it should come out okay. I'm a little skeptic to see if the resin in that fiberglass will actually hold my body weight. Skeptical about that, but I think it should come out pretty good. Okay, version 1 is what I would call it, is done. So obviously, as you can tell, I still need to paint the legs, and I need to do something with the underbody. I actually, for the top of this, I didn't get turf, which I'm kind of mad about, but I got this. It's like I think it's called like a rub rug or something. You're supposed to use it like to rub your shoes off to get dirt off. It actually feels pretty good on the feet, so I'm not mad about that. But yeah, so far so good. I just gotta get used to how wobbly this entire thing is. It's a 13-foot boat, so it's a little shaky, but we're gonna see how it does and test it out for a little bit today. And then to get the carpet thing, a rug, to sit on top of this, I just kind of used a liquid cement. It's kind of just like caulk, put that under there and it seems to work pretty well. So we'll see how this goes though. So far, so good. Come here, bud. And flip you. There we go. See you later, bud. So, as you can tell, it works. It worked really well. I've caught a few fish off this since I posted this video. I've probably taken it out maybe like 10 or 15 times since this video has been posted. It turned out a lot better than I thought it would, honest to God. I still haven't finished spray painting any of these or started or vet wrapping anything. I kind of like how it looks at the moment. It looks really DIY, which I absolutely love. This is always a joy to stand on. It's not too scrunchy on the feet or anything like that. The tubing is kind of keeping together, surprisingly. The turnbuckle, that's doing well. I added all my like little tippet things down here, which I think is kind of cool. And then I'll just kind of, nowadays, I'll just lay some tools up under there just to have them up under there. So I think that's cool. Kind of doubles as like a shade or whatever you want to call that, as some storage up under here. But yeah, I absolutely love how it turned out. Yeah, I have not a lot else to say. What else am I supposed to say? Yeah, pretty easy project, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to take like a day. It took me more like 2 days or so around there. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys liked the video, comment, subscribe. Appreciate every single one of you guys. And as always, say yes to fishing. We'll see you guys later. Ooh, there's a hawk that just landed over there. See you guys later. You have a good one. Appreciate every one of you. See you later. Let's go look at this bird. Look. Look at him. Whoa, you guys can't see anything. It's so bright.